Loving someone and destroying them are not supposed to happen in the same relationship, but that's the only version of love you saw modeled for you. So for a long time you didn't know there was another version. You thought passion and chaos were basically the same thing. You thought if two people cared about each other enough, of course it got loud sometimes. Of course things got broken. Of course somebody cried in a locked bathroom while a fan ran to cover the sound. You didn't know, because nobody showed you, that a lot of families exist without any of that. That some kids grow up not knowing which floorboards creak. You've probably also found yourself apologizing constantly for things that weren't your fault, in situations that had nothing to do with the people who actually hurt you. A coworker's bad mood, a friend's short reply, your body reacting before your mind even catches up, some old alarm going off that says, fix this, smooth this over, make yourself smaller until it passes. That alarm isn't broken. It's doing exactly what it was trained to do a long time ago, in a house that needed you to be an early warning system instead of a child. Here's something worth actually sitting with instead of rushing past. You were not too sensitive. You were not dramatic. You were not making it a bigger deal than it was, which is probably a sentence someone actually said to you at some point, maybe more than once. A child who cries after watching two adults scream at each other is not overreacting. That's a completely appropriate response to something inappropriate happening. The problem was never your reaction. The problem was that nobody was there to have that reaction with you, to tell you it made sense, to sit next to you on the bathroom floor instead of leaving. You there alone with a running fan and 32 tiles. You were a kid. You didn't have the tools to regulate to adults' unmanaged pain. You didn't have the tools to understand generational patterns, unresolved trauma, whatever was actually driving the fights you witnessed. All you had were your senses, picking up every single detail, storing it somewhere in your body because your brain didn't yet have the language to process it. That's why some of this still lives in your body now, not just your memory. That's why certain tones of voice can still make your stomach drop before you even register. Why? Nobody ever came to check on you back then. If nobody ever sat down next to you and said the fighting wasn't your fault, said you were allowed to be scared, said your feelings weren't an inconvenience, that doesn't mean those things aren't true. It just means nobody said them yet. So here they are, a little late, but not too late. You were a child in a hard situation, doing exactly what any child would do to survive it. And whatever part of you is still sitting on that bathroom floor, still counting tiles, still waiting for someone to knock, deserves to know that someone finally did.